guys, it's Sky bringing another video. So it's been a few days since my friend's funeral, and as much as I'm hurting from losing her, I have felt, a change in my, and how I've been feeling lately. Obviously I'm hurting from the situation with her, but there's, something I've gained from it, and that's, the appreciation of life. That's, an eye-opener of, how precious life is and how easy it could, be taken from you, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm getting older, and, this is time I'll never get back. And I'm not just speaking for my own life, I'm speaking for others out there. It's really easy to get complacent in life. It's easy to, just be defeated by what we go through. Life is so challenging. And, for the most part, if you see people that have gone through a lot and have, stayed strong through it, those are the people that have amazing stories, and in my eyes, and what I've lived through, as mediocre as my life sometimes I feel, I have gone through a very unique story and in a unique journey, in a sense, because, I've done something in my life that not many people can do. That I don't want to say not many people can do, but not many people, go through or want to go through. It's very challenging. But in a sense, I'm grateful for that challenge, because I think if I didn't go through this change in my life, in this journey, I think I would still be a very immature person. There was, I mean, obviously, I don't know what would have happened if I wasn't the way I am, but I could tell you, if I didn't ever decide to make my transition, I was so unmotivated before, because I didn't want much out of life. I was so broken, and as much as I say that I go through stuff now, nothing compares to how it was before, and it's hard for people to understand, and that's what I try to do, is I try to really, try to communicate with you guys and really share, what it is I go through on a regular basis, so you can understand, like, a lot of people wouldn't choose a life like this. Am I grateful for my life now and what I've been through? Yes, because it's made me the person I am today. And I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person. I want to be somebody that can inspire others to make a change in their life, to be happy themselves. And the unique path that I was given in this world, I have that ability because I can be real about the things I've been through, and be proud and strong and show my courage to others, of, what it's like walking in my shoes and, feeling different and feeling, of people being critical of me, but I've also received so much more respect from people that, didn't even acknowledge me before, or didn't even see me for me before. So, as much as I've lost people, I've gained so many more people that truly care about me, that, look at me and see a beautiful person. And I get some amazing, comments from people through my YouTube, just about my videos and, what it's able to do for them, and people have told me it helps them go, me sharing my life. And, there's been times where I'm like, it's hard to share my life because I'm vulnerable and, I don't have any privacy in a sense, but that's my own choice because I choose to share the things I go through. But in a sense, it helps other people. So for me, it's worth it, and I guess, the mistakes I made in my life, I feel like it's the least I can do to give up, my sense of vulnerability through what I go through, where people can criticize, to help others. And I will always continue to be that person because it makes me feel good, inside. It makes me feel like I've become a better person. And, I want to continue to do that. And, going through this situation of losing my friend, I really feel like I want to do something even better. I want to continue to share my story. This has motivated me. Yes, it's, it's a tragedy, and it's something that, it's going to be hard for me to get over, and I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss hearing her voice, but, I'm not going to let that go in vain in a sense that, I'm not going to waste the time I have here. It motivated me to want to do more because I want to have an impact on others like she had an impact on me. I want others to see the special, what's special about them, like she made me feel special. So as much as I'm hurting in that sense of losing her, I do have, she has motivated me to do more. And I think that's really, what has pushed me lately to make a change in my health and want to improve my life because, I've seen what happened to her, and I think it would be very selfish of me to, waste my life away of not trying to help people, because for me, that's what I feel like I've always been good at, and I want to be able to continue to do that because, not only does it make me happy, but it, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like for the first time in my life, I'm actually doing something that's, worth anything in this world, so, I want to continue this journey, today. It's been a long time. I think last March was the last time I went in and got a haircut, and it's been a while, and it was kind of a good booster for me today. I went and got my, hair done today, and as you can see, I never have it curly, but so it was nice to freshen up in that sense and get out and relax, and it was a very special day, in a sense, because when I was getting a ride from my Lyft driver, I listened to his story. He's very unique. He comes from his background, he comes from Africa, Uganda actually, and just listening to him and the stuff he goes through, and just it's so unique because everybody has their own story. He came from Uganda and went to school out in Boston for 10 years. He was out there, and then he came to California, to go for the career he wants, and just hearing what he goes through in his life, and his childhood of growing up, and what he went through and stuff, it gives me appreciation of what we have here, and it makes me realize, what kind of people are out in this world, because he was very kind, very nice person, and I'm grateful that I was able to, have him drive me there, because it was interesting learning about his life. For the most part, that's what I seem to do when I ever use Lyft. I try to talk to them and just, get an understanding of people's lives and what they go through. And, he had a lot of positive things to say, a very positive person. And it's very interesting hearing about, other people's lives and journeys, and people like him inspire me to continue mine because, I find a sense of relief and just, understanding and happiness that, other people, have things that they want to go for too, and they have dreams that they want to fulfill, and and it's very unique. So it was a very interesting day, and it was nice to just get out and spend some time and freshen up and get my haircuts, because it was really bad. Like my hair on the bottom was just destroyed, so it was nice, and I was able to talk to my friend. She does my hair, so that was really nice to get out and talk and just feel relaxed. So today was definitely a better day. I with my health, like I've been taking my vitamins, like I was telling you guys in my last video. I want to change things, and I have to watch this, because I've done this before where I want to change things, and then I get to a point where I get complacent, and then I get back to the spot where I'm just not happy, and then it just goes back and forth. So, I really want to... The one thing that I will say that has changed permanently is my consistency with always drinking water. Like, growing up, I always was very bad on, drinking water. So, and last year... towards the beginning of last year, I, made a change in in that sense of always drinking water. So even now that I maybe not eat the healthiest, or, if I have soda from time to time, I always still drink water, which is, for me, it was a big accomplishment, because it's something that's really, even though if at times I'm not eating good and healthy, I've always still had that, and it's kept me in, at least decent shape when I'm not, I'm not consistent with my diet. So, but I do want to get back on track on, back to where I was last year. If anything, I'm more motivated this year. Just want it with, strengthening my back and, getting a better mentality consistently with being positive, which I have lately. I've gone through some difficult times, but like I told you guys, the last week or so, I've really been motivated more on changing things. I've, woken up with a smile instead of, being depressed. So, I'm definitely very happy. I want to continue this positive attitude and, continue to be strong for you guys. I know I'm very real and open about my life and the emotions I go through. Sometimes on my videos, my emotions are very raw, and I want to show that to you guys, because I don't want anybody to ever feel like, they're alone, or they're, they don't want to be vulnerable in a sense where they show their emotions that they're hurting. Because we all go through very dark days at times. We go through times where we're very emotional, And, talking to people on my stream with guys, there's some, at times they feel like they're being a baby and they're too sensitive and I'm like, you know what? It's not bad to show emotion, to show that you have a heart, that you have compassion, and I think sometimes it forces somebody to be unhappy when they feel like they can't, let their heart out there to, go through their emotions, that they have to be something super tough where they never hurt and they're never emotional and they're never, I think that really can destroy someone. I think it's okay for all people to be sensitive at times. We all want to be loved. We all want to, feel accepted and cared for, so, and we all have so many different, situations we go through that are difficult and challenging. Some I'll never be able to comprehend, but I do the best I can for them to assure them that they're not alone, and that's something that makes me happy, because, the nice thing about being able to stream, I have people talking to me live, people telling me how they're feeling at the time, and I'm able to, communicate back with them and ask them what's going on, and, keep in contact with them. That's one thing I do is, I allow people to have accessibility to me where they're able to contact me, so they have somebody that they could talk to, and that's something that, I might be too nice about, but I care about people, and, I don't want people to feel like they're alone. I want people to understand they have someone, they can talk to, and I like being there for them, Sometimes I'm busy, sometimes I'm going through my own struggles, but, I always, will do my best to be there for people and to, show them that people in this world care about them, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But, I'm going to do my best to start getting out there more, putting myself out there to have a good time and to meet people and to connect with them. That was one of the things I wanted to do most with the New Year's coming up, with the New Year's resolution. I've never really done something like that, but, I want to make a change this year in 2018. I want it to be a positive year. I want it to be a year that I'll remember of, changing the cycle that I'm in with, struggling with things and not allowing myself to go out there and meet people and have a good time. So I'm, doing my best to work on that. I'm doing my best to be more consistent with these videos. I've made a really huge change on my stream. Like I through the years, I've made a huge change, but this last year in general, I've made, my positivity has gone through the roof, and just my overall, consistency with streaming every night and having a positive attitude. That's really been a huge change for me, and it's made me more successful in the sense because people feel like, when they're having a bad day or when they're having a hard time, they're able to go in there and they say I cheer them up. So, and a lot of them say, oh, you're the best streamer I've ever watched, or you're my favorite streamer. And to hear things like that is amazing, because when I first started streaming, I didn't think I would still be doing this. I didn't think I was going to be successful. And that wasn't just me being negative. For me, I didn't know if it was going to be something that I'd be good at. I've never really been the type of person to be sociable. I've always kept to myself. In the past, I've had a hard time speaking in front of people, but, going through my transition and really getting the courage and strength to, ignore people's criticism has really changed me in that sense. And, streaming every day and learning to communicate with people and has really improved, a lot of how I am sociable. I've always been pretty good with speaking from the heart and being honest and real about things. But now I've just gotten really good speaking in front of people because, I don't get nervous anymore because all I do is speak on how I feel. And I understand that others feel the same way as me. Everybody gets nervous at some point in their life and going in front of people and worrying about if people are judging them. And I think that's really what hurt me or helped me the most, which is crazy, is going through my transition, because when you go through your transition, you're giving up all your pride in a sense, because how no matter what kind of person you are, there's always going to be people really critical of you. There's always going to be, people that pay attention to you more. Like when I first transitioned and went back to bowling around people that have seen me my entire life, I knew I was going to be looked at. I knew I was going to be judged. I knew I was going to be, I'm sure at sometimes made fun of. But, that's just life, and that really doesn't matter who you are. There's always going to be people that are negative that, try to use you as something to entertain others about, or some way to be funny to other people about, and being in that situation has made me change into a better person, because now I know how that feels to be put in that situation, and I never want to do that to somebody else, So if I hear people, talking about others, I'm like, come on, guys, that's not, that's somebody else. That's their life. That's just them. They're different. It doesn't, it's not always, depending on what you're doing, it's okay to joke around, but when you're being personal about it and you're, really putting somebody down in a sense, that's another human, that's somebody that's just trying to live life and be who they are, so, I see the world differently nowadays, and I'm grateful for the transition because it's made me a more compassionate person in that sense. So, I just want to really give you guys an update with today and, what I did, and just meeting, my Lyft driver and just hearing their story, very nice person, very educated, and just, it was very interesting, and I want to share with you guys, what I want to do. I've always been insecure when it comes to my body, and I want to make a change in that. That's my goal too this year, is to be more comfortable. For the most part, I hear positive things about my body, but what other people see and what I see is always so different. We're always so much more critical of ourselves. And, that's really something I want to get over, because I hear such nice things, but sometimes I don't see it. And, I just want to really get more comfortable and confident with that, and I think that will honestly, get me to a point where I'm more successful, because I think, sometimes that hurts me because it kind of takes down my confidence. So, those are the things I do want to improve on and work on this year. There's changes, like I said, to my diet and my overall health. I want to, not take my life for granted. I don't want to waste the time in this world, when, I have situations which just happened in my life with my friend. I want to make her proud, and I want to continue to strive for what she sees in me. So, I just want to share that with you guys. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm always thinking about you. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. It helps me out. If you want to know more about my life, subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video.